Welcome back to another episode of The Road to 2200. Here we go. I don't know what's going on with the time. Something's happening. Okay. I'm going to have to play the game, though. Alright, so I am 1959. My opponent is 1896. Let's see if I can get this going. There we go. Got it back. Cool. And let's see what we got here. This is my little way of getting into the Queen's Gambit Declined. I quite like it. Oh, okay. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Alright, we'll do this. Getting into the QGD, and we'll see what they do. Most likely they'll push one of the two pawns, and then I like to take. It's Queen's Gambit. What is it called? The Exchange Variation. I like it quite a bit, actually. It lets me get into structures I know very well, and, put some pressure on my opponent. They often make less than ideal moves, which puts me in a good spot. That's kind of the point. I know all the piece placements. I know what I want to do. And sometimes my opponents play really well and play good plans, and sometimes they go astray. The only problem is, because it's not as adversarial as some other openings, even when they go astray, we really get a positional advantage rather than like a hardcore tactical advantage that we can really exploit. So it becomes a real positional game. But that's what I like. I love playing positional chess. It's fun. As weird as this might sound, sometimes I feel like tactical chess ruins chess. I'm like, we had this real fun positional game, and then either you or I ruined it with some cool tactic. Now, that probably sounds ridiculous, and oftentimes, tactics come from good positions. Okay, so my question is, do I take here? And I'm not going to yet. I'm going to instead go here, and if this bishop moves, then I will take. I'm expecting this bishop to go right here, right now. We'll see what happens. And then I will go takes here. I'm going to assume we're going to trade. And then, actually, I'm going to do this first. It'll be here, and then b4. But who knows? And this is also interesting. Like, these are all pretty straightforward moves to me. As you can see, I'm well over my starting time, and my opponents used, a fair amount of time. A 15th of their time or so. Just on the first 7 moves, which, I don't know. There doesn't seem to be that many choices here. It's like knight d7, c6, or bishop g4, or f5, and maybe it's kind of that paralysis of they all look about equally as good. So how do I know which one to do? That's fair. Fair question. But I would also say you should choose a little faster. In, a non-confrontational opening where it feels like any of those 4 moves are probably fine, taking a minute of your 15 minutes on that move is probably not good time management. I know it's really hard because it's like, I want to play the best move in the position. Sometimes the best move is just making a good move. Like, it doesn't have to be the best move. I will say this. I've been reading Gelfand's, it's like decision making in positional chess, something like that. Very good book, and he kind of says that idea, right? Like, you just want to make good moves, and then they will sort of you'll acquire a good position by making good moves. And Agar said the same thing in a recent interview with the Chess Dojo, which was really good, where he, just kind of said, like, make good moves, and you might not see immediately why it's good, but it'll add up in the end, in the long run. Okay, so, c5. I think I'm gonna go here. No, he can't go there. Probably is going to go here instead. I think I'll probably go there. Then he'll end up there. And I'm not sure I love that, actually. I'd much rather trade these light squared bishops off. But after the bishop goes here, I'll just go there immediately. And then we'll start this stuff happening. Okay, that was pretty predictable. I think the answer is yes. I want to go here, takes, and before even castling, I want to just get this b4 move in while the bishop is misplaced. It looks like a weird move, right? I'm giving up the 2 bishops, but the whole point is to be able to get this in easily and get that rolling. Yeah. next moves are going to be like here, 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 here. That's sort of where we're going. We'll see what our opponent does. Sometimes opponents do stuff like this to stop it. It usually doesn't work out all that well. I just go here, here. And then this becomes a target. If this knight can't go like this, then this pawn becomes a really big target. So, just some subtleties. This is one of the beauties of playing a position and an opening long enough. You really start to know the subtleties, 14, 15 moves in of how to play an opening. I'm a big fan of not switching your openings a lot. I really like getting to the nuances. I think that's where it gets really fun. You can start really putting your pieces on good squares. I'm also actually looking at just going here, which is good for supporting this stuff, preventing pushes, and then I'm hitting this pawn. So they're going to have to, like, if I go here, they almost have to go, say, there or there. And I think either one of those is fine for me. I've put my queen on a better square, basically for free. I think my queen going here is better than their pawn going here, essentially. Then I'll cast... Oh, there is a problem, right? There's a big problem. This is kind of an issue. We never did get rid of that bishop, so maybe that's not a good idea, actually. Maybe not the best plan. Okay, so that's an interesting plan. I don't think that works. This still breaks everything up, and then they're left with this weird pawn situation. I think I want a castle first, though, before I move into that enterprise, because they do have stuff like this, which I'm gonna, want to go here. I don't know. I didn't like the idea of all the potential tactics on the king. Let's just keep the king safe. I don't think we lose anything in delaying a4 for a move. I think it'll be totally fine. Okay, so now they're starting to develop. We're gonna go here. And then we're going here. And if takes, we're very happy to have this isolated pawn with all of these pieces on the board. Yes, it's passed, and you might be like, oh no, an isolated passed pawn. But like we're gonna win that pawn. Or at least pressure it to the point where they'll have to use all their resources to defend it, and then another weakness will emerge and we'll take advantage of that. This is what I was talking about, like, even if my opponents get in bad spots, it's not easy to win, right? I might tell myself I'm winning, and the engine might be like, yeah, you're up 0.8. But, like, winning it is hard work. Like, you can't make mistakes because you're trying to accrue small advantages. All right, so my opponent, again, like, I'm not going to say time trouble, but I'm up 5 minutes. Like, all these moves were easy and natural to me, and not to my opponent. Again, a pretty big advantage in playing an opening quite well. I wouldn't call this opening offbeat, but I would say, like, a lot of people don't play the exchange variation. Though I will also say, I just got a book on Queen's Gambit Decline from Black's perspective, and there's a very big section on the exchange variation, and the claim is lots of people play it. So I don't really see it that much on here, on Lichess, or on Chess.com. I do see it sometimes with over-the-board players. Tends to be older players, such as myself. I'm putting myself in that bracket. That's not an insult. But it tends to be players who would rather play a more heavy positional game than a tactical one. Not that I don't like tactics. I think tactics are fun. I said earlier that sometimes I feel like they ruin a game, but that's only a positional game. I do like a wild tactical game every now and then. It just is not really my style to play always for that. And again, I don't know what the deal is with this opponent, right? Like, they're really going in the tank for every move, almost like this is a classical game. And this is not me being impatient. I'm not saying I'm upset. I'm just saying I feel like we're going to reach a point in this game where I have a large advantage because they're going to be suddenly down to 2 minutes, albeit 11 minutes. And then that's the problem, right? This is how one of the ways you lose in a rapid time control is by using your time not well. So we'll see. Maybe I won't be able to use this time advantage. Maybe they'll start moving quickly, or the game will get really tactical and I'll make some blunder. But like, they're spotting me a lot of time. This seems like a bad idea. Maybe they're just cleaning up after their cat that coughed up a fur ball, and they'll be playing faster soon. But I don't know. This seems to have been their strategy for this game, is to kind of go in the tank every move. All right, again, what we're looking to do is push here. If they go here, I'm still going to go here. If they go here, I'm going here to keep the knight out of b6. I'll be pretty happy with that, actually. If they go here and I get to go here, and then I can just load up on this pawn, start putting everything on it, that'll be quite good. And notice this bishop's out of play. Okay, so that's an interesting idea. I didn't really consider that. I don't think I've seen anyone play that. I'm not quite sure why. So if I go here, and then they go here, I have this move. And then if they push by, I'm taking with check and then taking. So I don't think this works very well. And if they take, I think that's good for me. Like, I can take here, and then this is hanging. Yeah, this looks quite good. Like, if they could go here and here safely, that might not be bad. But I don't think they're going to get to do that. Okay, yeah, I don't think that works. There's a lot of lines where I go here. So if I go here, and they go, I don't know, let's say they move this bishop to, wow, there's like nowhere to move this bishop. There's literally nowhere to move the bishop. No. Yeah, there's nowhere they can move the bishop where I can't take it. So that's a problem for them. Because wherever they go, I'm going to take with check. They get this pawn. Ah, okay. I was thinking I was going to get to go back here. I was also thinking they might push. But if I go here and they take here, and then I check, and they take, I can't take back. So maybe this becomes sort of an issue. That's interesting. Let's think about that. I could also just take there, and then they take, and they're on this bishop, which I could just slide back. Ooh, this would end up hanging. Okay, so I think I need to go here. I don't know that this works as well as I initially thought. I thought initially that this was going to basically win the game. Now I'm a little bit unsure about that. This pin is ending up being quite annoying. Normally this bishop is off the board and I don't have to worry about it. Okay, that's a mistake, I think. That's just like a straight up, I could just take it now, right? Like, what am I missing? If I take, go up 2 pawns, by the way. 2 pawns? What am I missing? How is that not just terrible? I guess the thought is they're going to have some cool discovery. Okay. All right, they resign. Because I'm about to go here, and go up 2 pawns and just go, what? What are we doing? Okay, so let's take a look at this thing. I only went 14 moves. All the moves were normal to me. My opponent, I don't know what happened to my opponent until the end. Okay, so we went into the normal exchange. All of these are just regular moves. Nothing interesting. We're both just making normal moves. This isn't the #1 move, but it's still a fine move. I see people play it. Interestingly, this is not even in the book. It's not even in the database. People go here first, and then I imagine maybe they take. This is always a question of when to take. So it's not always right, and maybe now it's not right. The computer says that it is totally fine. Then I pushed. Computer says it's dead even. The computer wants me to play h3 every single move, but still says, all my moves are fine. They're not the best. Computer says that's also fine, and then that is bad because of this move. But what I thought they could do at least is go here and make things a little bit difficult. And yeah, this is what I was wondering, is if I could go here. And then if they take, and I take, and they take, I could just take back this way, which is game losing. Okay. I could go here, and that is a draw, essentially. The move the computer likes is very strange to me. This, the computer loves. What a weird move. it's like 3 deep on this pin. Let's say the computer just goes there. The danger here is this. But why wasn't this a good move before then? Before we move the rook, why couldn't we just go here anyway? The reason is g6. And we can't take there. Wow, this must be a really deep idea with this pin. So here, g6, which looks promising. Takes. This is getting more scary. Oh, knight moves? Yeah, that does start to look really scary. Here. Move this back, and now we can move this bishop anywhere we want for the discovery. The engine says there's several good moves. You can just come back. And now the queen has to move. I don't know. This looks not as good for a black, but it doesn't look catastrophic. I guess here... I guess the point is... No, this is backing up, so I don't know. It looks better for white. I agree, but it doesn't look game over or anything. Okay. But instead they went there, which was game over. And interestingly, it says this is just the best variant. So I almost did that, and then I was like, no, I think I'd rather go here first. Get another piece off the board, and the engine says, yes, you're crushing here. The other way would have been slightly better, though. And then I would come back here, break the pin, and I'm up 2 pawns, and this is game over. So I don't really know what happened with my opponent. There seemed to be some sort of short circuit here of going here. Like, that just flat out doesn't work in any universe. Whereas this was certainly interesting, right? Like, I would have had to come up with some very good moves here to make this work. I could have gone there. Actually, can you go here or no? Oof, that looks really strong. So I can't go here. I don't really see how I'm supposed to stop this. Wow. Okay, you ready for this? It's a good idea. This, what if we just move the piece? Blank, 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 and we're hitting this. And now white is crushing. So, tactics, complementing positional play. There we go. That is another episode in the books. I guess takeaways. Takeaways are mainly this. Time usage. My opponent used so much time for not many moves in a very non-confrontational opening. Second takeaway. Don't switch your openings very often. It allows you to have really subtle understandings. Even when the computer didn't love my move, like taking here, I liked it. I knew exactly why I was doing it, right? It wasn't a random idea. It was to be able to push b4 fast and to be able to push a5 fast or a4 fast and be able to contest their setup. So those are the takeaways. It's a short game. There weren't that many. And I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time on the road to 2200.